you guys have an e-commerce store running a physical product, you need to run this one price test. This test will add at least 10% to your monthly revenue. It's worked across all of the brands that I've worked with, and it will consistently be the highest ROI in terms of time and energy put into a test to getting a return on your investment. So let me show you exactly what the test is and how to run it on your store. All right, we are now live in my client's Shopify dashboard. We have A/B Convert, which is a great A/B testing tool. You can use any A/B testing tool for this. We're running a price test and actually an upsell price test. So the first thing first is I'd recommend that you ran a price test on your number one most popular product, adding either $5 in increasing the price or decreasing the price. In this case, we've already ran that price test. So we're now working with an upsell price test, which is the main upsell for our main product. We're testing the original $997 price point versus a $797 price point. As you guys can see here, I'm going to make myself a little smaller. In terms of conversion rates right here, we only ran this test for 5,000, well, total 10,000, 11,000 sessions. And over only 6 days, we were able to get statistical significance, which I will talk about in a second here. So the conversion rate, the original was actually higher than the test price and add to cart. However, the more important metrics, right, is getting paid, which is your order value. So it was a over 0.5% increase in order value, getting us to a 6% conversion rate. Then our checkout value was up 0.37. But like I said, guys, the most important thing with CRO, split testing, whatever it may be, is actually revenue and profit for the business. It's not about having the highest conversion rate. A lot of my work is just about maintaining and slowly growing the conversion rate over time. And really the conversion rate will fluctuate. But the most important thing and the real metric that you should be focused on is getting a higher profit per session or a higher revenue per session. This is what's going to grow the business. It's what's going to scale the business, and it's what's going to make the business the most money. So if you look here, the test price was actually over $2.08 per session, profit per session. And the original price was 1.87 profit per session. So as you can see here, just a $2 decrease added over 21 cents to the profit per session. So let's do a little bit of math here. So 2.08 minus 1.87 is going to be 21 cents per session, right? And most of my clients that I work with, they're doing about 100K sessions on their store per month. That's 21K for this brand just by sending 100K sessions to their website. That's a $21,000 lift just off of a $2 price difference in the upsell, not even the main product. Think about how big this would be for a main product for a $5 difference. Look, guys, the whole thing about CRO and split testing is small changes can make huge differences when you're talking about a bigger store doing, sending 100K people. A small difference of 21 cents per session becomes a huge number. That's going to be multiple hundreds of $1,000s a year in optimized revenue. So that's huge. Just think about that. I'm going to show you exactly what statistical significance we got here. So with a 95% confidence level and a one-sided hypothesis, we were able to get almost a 90% confidence, which is pretty high. We try to shoot with statistical significance to hit about 90% or higher. Obviously, there's some points in tests where you just need to move on to the next test, or you're rushing to do something and you want to make changes to the website. In that case, we were making some changes. We wanted to get this test in and out as quick as possible. Like I said, in only about 6 days, we were able to hit pretty much statistical significance here. This is a big difference in conversion rate. Obviously, this conclusion right here says that it's not significantly better because it's not at that 90 percentile. But as you guys can see with these metrics, it's clear that this is probably going to be the winner. And of course, we can open up this test and test it longer just to get that extra 1.2% confidence. But, sometimes it's okay just to take a test when you're pretty confident that it's working. But obviously you want to rely on the data to prove that. And as you guys can see, hitting that statistical significance is very important. So there's been times when I thought for sure a change to the Shopify website, a specific page or whatnot was going to absolutely crank our conversion rate. And maybe the first day it did, it was up, 20, 30%. But then by day 4 or 5, the original's absolutely smashing it. So do not jump the gun with your statistical significance unless you're 100% confident, right? The whole purpose of A/B testing is to get the data to back your decisions so that you can confidently scale. The whole purpose of running this test was to know that this $797 price point will make us more money over time. And that's exactly what the test did. And that's the whole purpose of CRO, split testing, everything is just running tests to see what small changes we can make to the website that will over time grow the business exponentially. So I'm going to show you guys how you can do this, how you can run this test on your own store. If you're going to use A/B convert, that's great. So we'll just hop over here. We're going to hit create new test. You can hit price test. You can test content, shipping, URL, template test. Always run a price test first. That's going to be the highest ROI for your business. So then we're just going to hit some shipping protection here. You're going to split the traffic half and half. You can change the name here. These are some advanced options. You don't really need these if you're just starting out. Then what you'd want to test is probably like a 5% or less difference. So in this case, maybe just a 5% decrease in the test might get better conversions, might get better revenue per session. Then you're just going to hit next, name the test, hit the description. And then you want to click your primary metric. So because we are running a price test, we'll probably want to run for a revenue per visitor because we're altering the price. So we want to know the return in terms of our revenue based on that price alteration. How you can look at average order value. If you're making changes to things like an upsell, like basically like an upsell page or something that would make somebody click an upsell or order more items, or even like bundles or something like that, that's when you would click that. And then conversion rate would be more so for like a content test. If you're testing out two different home pages where they're a little bit further away from the checkout, you would probably want to run a conversion rate test because that would be the testing the likeness of the home pages. If you're getting more click-throughs, if you're getting more conversions because the home page is pushing them in the right direction, that's probably what you want to run. Ideally though, you probably want to stick to revenue per session or revenue per visitor because that's the closest metric tied to your revenue. And as brand owners, the only thing that matters is the revenue and the profit that comes to your business every month. So you can have a great conversion rate, but if you're not making enough profit to pay the bills, it doesn't matter, right? Ideally though, your test will hit all three of these. That's a big win when your test hits all three. However, focus on the right metric for your test. Pretty simple stuff, but if you just remember what you're testing, you don't need to do that. And then you're just going to hit create test and it'll start testing and splitting traffic to price points. And then you'll know how that works from there. So guys, that's how you run a price test for your Shopify store. I'd highly recommend using A/B convert if you're just getting started with split testing and CRO. If you want to use a more advanced tool, you can use something like IntelliGems or whatever it may be. They all do the same thing. So the most important thing is understanding the concept and how to actually run the test. But now you know that, so you can apply that to your store. This will guarantee to add 10% to your revenue every month. Just run a price test pretty much every month for your main products and you will see a huge lift, whether that be a price increase or a price decrease. These small changes really affect your store, especially if you're sending 50, 70, 100,000 sessions every month and above. Small changes create big results, and they have for my clients and just in general. So if you need any help running these price tests or you want to apply to work with us, click the link below, check out the website, see how much monthly revenue we can add for you. With that said, I hope that you guys got a ton of value off this video, and let me know in the comments what sort of revenue that you guys generated because of this. I really hope that you guys can kill it. I'll see you guys soon.